shut the doors.
Did that really
So I
happen?
told him, yeah, yeah. He says, it might get brought up. I said, okay, I'll take care of it. It was me who did it, but I'm also gonna. At first, I had gone over doing my business there, and you know, taking a credit vehicle is not a junkyard.
It's not.
And our ordinances are not up to date on restitution. And so, at first, I wasn't really in cameras. I know. So what happened is, they were, I was at the city, talking about M2, she was able to, inside a building. Like, what does it matter inside the building? You get what I'm saying? And then, so I thought we could do it, I told them we could do it, and then they told that we weren't. And that's how it got caught up with it.
That's really.
How you doing?
How are you?
Fabulous.
Hey, Fabs, how are you?
Yeah, let me sign.
Safety of this,
So,
That's what,
to,
I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but it's bigger.
I mean, you're talking about a pretty small thing. And then we are putting in, oh, you gotta put the, they're gonna want a few $1,000s for a, but you get the money back. But it's a bond. And you get it back once in a while. That's just in case you forget to do it. Okay, 5 years from now, they say, okay, you still have your money. And we'll go ahead and do it ourselves and take it. So basically, you're agreeing to adding this landscaping and widening the road, and widening the driveway. Yeah, so those are the basic two things.
Yeah, that's all.
And the rest would be, so this is for variances. Once we get this, then we have to go back to the planning department, planning commission, and say that we got all these variances, so will you now let us do this? And they'll say,
then again, just.
okay. So you can decide as per the request. How do I pronounce your name? No, I need to get, what's the formal name? I'm representing the shop. I'm going to spell it the way it sounds, that way I don't screw it up. No, yeah, I'll be Shaw. I'm writing it the way I speak. And then how do you say your last name?
Yes. I know, right?
Yeah, you don't want to sound dumb. They might, because we're very last. So here's, I got the, this is my other customer. He's backed out from so we got the auto report, auto parts store. Another business. This one is out.
got even extras. I'm ready. I'm ready.
We have another one.
I'm gonna get some business done
And
tonight.
word number 11. We are actually last. We are last.
Uh-oh. I'm ready, I
We should
can
go out
answer
for a
them.
beer and come back.
I was gonna go home, take a shower, change my clothes.
Yeah.
Still.
That's good.
Last time was problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who like a lot of things.
They make it like 3 hours.
Right. So this may be quick. No, one of them's dead. Because we're gonna, it's for an Indian temple that we work on. We're building a parking lot next to it. And everything was fine until the zoning guy. Then it was, oh, I don't like how the existing parking lot is laid out. Fortunately, the new parking lot is adjacent to the existing, so we could still put to allow that.
Worse. It's in
Yeah, but here's the
Yeah,
problem.
you're like,
Here's the
oh,
situation.
man.
This building.
The
and
rest of
parking
your life,
lot
you're
was
gonna
built
see my name on this.
built probably 50 years ago. So the parking lot was built 50 years ago. Now they want.
You guys are all gonna go home, but we got rid of Karen tonight. Yeah.
So that's the problem. Before they never even mentioned
That's
it.
it.
And all of a sudden.
I can't look at her name anymore.
I know. Well, we can do it without much effort, but now we have to go through the paperwork. Oh, it takes minutes
What's two
to get
extras?
building
Yeah, they approved.
by the city in all these little cases,
So
and it does
say
the building.
something had to leave.
You're right, yeah, you're right, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're coming with the lounge over the new building.
They're not gonna go unless they get one.
Yeah, and then after that, you can start, then you have to hire your site engineers to design this, to design the parking lot.
What are they accepting?
Yeah, yeah, just, and then they'll design this, and design this. You do the engineering drawings, and then you hire a contractor. And then the other problem is this is M102, which means it's a county road, so we have to get approval from them. But theirs is usually just a rubber stamp. It's not gonna be a problem, but it's just another process to go through. And especially if you want to do it. But you still have to get that paper to approve those. And then, yeah, and then the county wants you to make sure you have your construction doesn't mess with the storm sewer, so you have to build a little fence that's about this tall, all the way around your site, so that the construction work doesn't, dirt doesn't end up in the sewer. It's a small thing, but it still has to be done, it's just another.
Because they're not gonna be on the machine, but I get more.
I don't know. Depends on what they, probably not till you get the final, not until they approve everything. Then you have to, in order to get your approval letter, you have to pay the bond. Yeah, I don't know how, yeah, the bond, I don't know, yeah, the bond's a couple of grand, but then you get that back.
I know, I can do it.
Yeah, you just.
I'd like to call to order a regular meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for Wednesday, August 12th at 7 PM. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we do roll call, I want to take a moment to basically welcome, I'm going to re-welcome both people, because Sean Bell is one of our new alternates, and Kayla Parvaznik, we met at the last meeting, but welcome again for both of you. Okay, roll call.
Roll call. Mr. Sophia.
Present.
Mr. Green.
Present.
Mr. Perry.
Present.
Mr. Lindsay.
Present.
Mr. Clift.
Good evening, Mr. Secretary, present.
Mr. Watts.
Here.
Mr. Assessor.
Present.
Mrs. Parvaznik.
Present.
Mr. Bell. Mr. Jersey's present. Chairman Ostovich.
Present. Takes us to adoption of the agenda. I believe we have one change.
And Mr. Chair, I'd like to remove item 8 regarding 35609 Mile from the agenda and leave the rest as written.
Support. We have a motion by Mr. Jersey and a support by Mr. Sophia to approve the agenda, just minus removing number 8. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. Next is approval of the minutes, and I don't believe we got those yet.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to postpone the approval of the minutes of the regular meetings of May 13, 2026, July 8, 2026, and July 22, 2026 to the August 26th meeting.
Support.
So we have a motion by Mr. Jersey to reschedule the approval of the minutes to the August 26th, and that was support by Mr. Watts. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, the minutes are rescheduled. Takes us to item number 6, iDrive Auto Parts.
So, item 6, applicant iDrive Auto Parts, Representative Karen Birdie, common description 21311 Groesbeck. Variance is requested permission to, one, retain the parking within the Groesbeck front setback. 2, waive 2 required parking spaces. 3, allow an 11-foot maneuvering lane to the 2 southernmost parking spaces. And that is it.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Karen Birdie on behalf of iDrive Auto Parts. Tonight with me is...
And your address before,
Pardon me?
and your address?
My address is 28225 Mound Road, Warren, Michigan, 48092.
Thank you.
So tonight here with me is Calvin Hermans from iDrive. Now, I know I've explained this in the past, but we now have new members, and I don't know who's heard this, et cetera, but iDrive Auto Parts basically is an auto recycler. They take in vehicles that some aren't working, some have been in accidents, et cetera. They are bought, they're brought to the yard, the fluids are drained out of them, and then they are dismantled. Parts are labeled, et cetera, and then they are sold. What's interesting is most of the parts are sold via the internet. We ship the parts to different places. Very few people actually come to the site to actually buy or get parts. We do have some, but most of our business is done via the internet. After the vehicles are stripped down, the carcasses, that's what I call them, are crushed and the metal is recycled. This is the way that vehicles should be disposed of, as opposed to many years ago. We all remember junk yards where the vehicles would be placed in the yard, and for years they would just decay, if you will. That's no way to treat our resources. It's important to note that my client's business is regulated by the state. They're inspected by the state. They participate in recycling associations and are constantly improving how they can better recycle and if you will, use the resources that are in the vehicle to the best of the ability. So this is a necessary business, in my opinion, in the city, and I think it's a quality business because it is, if you will, taking care of a problem that we would otherwise have. As you all know, I've been in front of the board with regard to our plan. This is Groesbeck right here, and down a ways is 8 Mile. This has been in business in the city of Warren. You might remember Sheridan, and that was a true junkyard. When my client bought that property, he spent a great deal of time and effort cleaning it up. He undug a bus, tires, all of that was properly disposed of, and the property was cleaned up. But it has been, if you will, used in this fashion for quite some time. So this right here, this dark outline, is the yard. This right here is the building, a dismantling center, and the parking. This property here has M4 and M2 and has a use variance to be able to be used as a recycling yard. What's a problem in the city, I have to be honest with you, is when you dismantle vehicles, to me, that's no different than like vehicle repair. You're taking parts on, parts off, etc. That's allowed in M2, okay? But what the city has now said to us is that you need M4 because our ordinances are so out of date, we don't have anything that deals with recycling. And so they're saying to us, you're a junkyard. And that's why you're seeing on paperwork where it says junkyard, because that's the closest that they say they can associate this with. I argue I associate it with car repair and M2, but in any event, we have a use variance already for this property right here. What's up tonight is just the parking area right here. That's the only item that's up tonight is this area. If you recall, I was here quite some time ago, quite a long time ago, and my plan had already been through planning and was approved with the parking that I was bringing before this board. And there were second thoughts on the parking, and the planning department sent a letter that they wanted things changed on the parking. So we tabled just the parking, and everything else was approved. So what we did is we changed the parking according to the letter of the planning department. So we changed it in accordance with that. And then to make sure that there wasn't a problem when I came back, I had a meeting with the planning department and the building department. That meeting took place in March of this year. So we sat down, I showed the plan to both departments. They both said this was acceptable. So I now believe that the parking I'm presenting here tonight is in accordance with what the planning department wants and what the building department wants. So I'm asking for approval of the parking. Now, as you can see, this is a triangular shaped piece of property, and as you can see, that would lead to a hardship. When basically these lots prior to Groesbeck going out ran down like this. The lots ran down where the street is. Those lots were cut in half. This building existed when my client bought it. He didn't create it. And so we're asking for accommodation for a variance from the ordinance because the hardship is the unique shape of the property, the size and shape of the lot, the fact that most our business is done via internet and shipping. So we would ask you to approve the parking as presented. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Birdie. This is a public hearing. Are there any members of the audience wishing to speak on this item? Not seeing any, or close the public portion, and we do have a letter from planning.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is per Ron Worth, the planning director, regarding this property. It says, basically, there's two different notes on here. So note 1, in the planning department findings, recommendation and petitioner approval letter for this impact statement were previously submitted to the ZBA for the meetings of 8/12/25, 10/8/26, 11/12/26, 4/16/26, 6/13/26, 5/27/26, 6/10/26, 6/24/26, and 7/8/26. Man, you're here that much? My goodness, sakes alive. All right, note 2, as a result of the petitioner revising the parking to eliminate the proposed two most southern parking spaces, it is recommended that the variance request that states allow an 11-foot maneuvering lane to the two most southern parking spaces be amended to read, allow an 11-foot maneuvering lane to the southernmost parking space. After review of the request, no issues were found to impact the abutting local or general public. The petitioner received site plan approval with condition for a building addition, new accessory building, and open storage of vehicles on July 8, 2024.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jersey. With that, the public portion is closed, and we're turning it over to the board for questions and discussion.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Jersey?
To Ms. Birdie, real quick. You did state that, you do have, it's inspected by the state, this type of business. How often inspections occur? Is it yearly, quarterly? You have any idea how often the inspections occur? So once annually?
Yep.
And then the one thing I didn't see on the site plan, I was looking hard for it, maybe you could help me out with this. You did say that the cars and all that are drained. Are they drained on site when they come in?
When they come in, they're drained. We have
They're drained on the property, right?
yes.
Okay, so
Not into the property.
I understand that, but
Okay.
the one thing I don't see on here is any kind of plan or any kind of tanks on here where the stuff is stored. I don't know what building, or if it's outdoors, or to what volume, you're pulling out of cars. How often is that picked up? Is that part of the state inspection? Maybe you could, Glenn, give me some kind of clarity into those things, because
Where do we have the,
So that is all done.
you just need your name and address for the record.
Calvin Hermes, 21311 Groesbeck Highway, Warren. It's all done inside.
Speaking in the microphone, it's hard to hear you,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Calvin Hermes, 21311 Groesbeck Highway, Warren.
Thank you.
It is all done inside.
Okay. So you have tanks and proper storage and things of that nature?
Yeah, where OSHA comes out, they check it out, make sure that this is all, and they look at the receipts of where it went and how it was disposed of, and
And you got to,
how many cars we've dismantled is how much that we're expecting, whether it's fuel, whether it's antifreeze, oil, and
you have a company pick up, obviously, for each separate one, or one company picks everything up?
multiple different.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay. All right, thank you for providing some clarity into that. I'll yield the floor.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Safai?
what I wanted to clarify and make sure I'm understanding this correctly, our packet, everything's marked use, all over the place. The use variance was already granted. That was item 2 of the previous request, I believe. So tonight, we're just here for the parking,
oh, actually, you're right.
which is not a use variance. So
You're correct.
I reviewed the site plan. I think it makes good sense, given the uniqueness of the property. And I just wanted to clarify that for our board members tonight, that this is not actually a use variance for the items remaining tonight.
Thank you for that clarification.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Watts?
So, I've been by there a couple of times. I didn't go by every time it was on the agenda, but I went back to review this week. And having actually bought parts from Dick Sheridan back in the day, I can tell you this place looks much better than it did back in the 60s and 70s. I think it's an improvement, and what they're asking for, I honestly don't have a problem with it. It makes it better. So I don't have a problem with it.
Thank you, Mr. Watts. Any other questions or discussion?
If no one else has got anything, I'll make a motion.
Go ahead, Mr. Green.
Okay, I move that we approve the variance request and retain the parking within the Groesbeck front setback, waive the 2 required parking spaces, and allow 11-foot maneuvering lane to the 2 southernmost parking spaces. The reason being is that the property is unique, it's not a detriment, and it's necessary.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Green, support by Mr. Jersey to approve the request for reasons stated.
Mr. Green?
Yes, for reasons stated.
Mr. Jersey votes yes for the reasons stated in the motion. Mr. Safaya?
Yes, for reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Perry?
Yes, for reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Assessor?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Clift?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Watts?
Yes, for the reasons stated in motion.
Mr. Lindsay?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
And Chairman Stovich?
Yes, for reasons stated in the motion. Your request has been approved.
Thank you.
Should we clap?
Congratulations.
Longest item ever. Takes us to item 7. Applicant Manavruza Mankan, Representative Hisham Turk, common description 26688 Ryan. Variance is requested permission to, 1, retain the driveway approach on Ryan to within 457 feet, and the approach on 11 Mile Road to within 421 feet of the intersection of Ryan Road and 11 Mile Road. 2, retain 31% of lot coverage. 3, retain parking in the front setback along 11 Mile Road to within 9 feet of the north property line, and in the side setback along Ryan Road to within 22 feet, 7 inches of the west property line.
And if you could start with your name and address and go into your request.
My name is Hisham Turk. I'm the architect who's working with the owners on this project.
I didn't hear. Did you say your address?
Excuse me?
Did you state your address? I did not hear.
Or my address, 6340 Peacock Drive in Troy, Michigan.
Thank you.
Now, the owners they purchased this property because they found out that the rising community members of the Muslim community members in city of Warren and around the area, they need more services, especially some educational services after school for the kids. So that's their main objection of the project. And they found this property, it's centralized where they wanted to be, so it was a good location for them. So we started working on this, and we got the site plan approval, and then, with the conditions, of course, for these 3 variances that listed to be presented to the Zoning Board of Appeal for approval. I think this is an existing building which currently is vacant, and so they're going to use it for 2 major purposes. The main major purpose is the educational for the kids, like I mentioned, which will be mostly after school. It's not a full-time school building. It will be after school for the kids. When they're done with the school, regular schools, they can come here and they can get education about their religion, and also physical educations will be provided for them in this location. And the other part of the building will be used as a community center for serving the Muslim community families around the area. So this is the major use of the building. And the variance, so because it is an existing building, we found out that the driveways to the property is closer to the intersection from what is required by the zoning ordinance. So that's the first variance. And the second variance is the height of the building, which is, coverage of the building to the lot area, which is 31%. The zoning ordinance requires 30%, just 1% more. And the last parking variance is the parking on the front of the property, which is on the 11 Mile Road. Also, the parking lot is existing, so that's the hardship that we have. So we wanna. That's why we're asking for that variance in the front yard setback, and also on the side yard setback, which is abutting the Ryan Road. From the Ryan Road, from the 11 Mile Road is about, we are asking for a variance of 9 feet, to be 9 feet. And from the Ryan Road, this is 22 feet, 7 inches. So if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer also.
Thank you for that explanation. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this item? Not seeing any. We do have a letter from planning to be read in.
Yes, Mr. Chair, from Moran Worth, the planning director, says after review of the specific non-use variances being requested, no issues were found to impact the budding local or general public. The petitioner received site plan approval with conditions for a community center and K through 12 religious education center on May 11, 2026.
Thank you for that information. With that, I'll close the public portion of the meeting and turn it over to the board for questions and discussion.
Mr. Chair, to the petitioner real quick. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening. How are you?
Good. So the first building is going to be used as a religious, as a school, and it's going to close probably middle part of the day like a normal school does. So there's going to be no activities at night, or
The times I can provide you with the times of operation of the class of the school. Let me see here. So yeah, it's opens weekdays from 4:30 till 8:30 p.m.
okay.
and in the weekends from 11 a.m. till 7 p.m.
Okay. And then the second building, it says on here, it says proposed use is community banquet hall. First off, I want to put on the record, I don't really have a problem with the variances that you're requesting. I just have I'm kind of concerned about the parking. How many parking spaces are total in that lot?
I think it's mentioned on the site plan, when in the site plan meeting, we are meeting the requirements for that.
132 required parking spaces.
132.
And it says they have 168, including 8 ADA.
So 168 spaces, okay. Okay. I have actually a quick question for Mr. Schuman, if he could, please. How you doing this evening, sir?
Hello.
So, when I went and did the property check, I had a little bit of concerns regarding the fire hydrants in the back of the building. One didn't look like it was compatible for use because it was so close to the ground. Another one looked like it was. If we approve all this, does all that kind of get
There is an open
involved with
enforcement or permit or something with this plan. That
There is, okay.
I did see in the system.
Okay.
About raising it up.
Yeah, okay. Perfect,
Some,
perfect. Because God, don't want any harm to come, especially if you have children there, you know, and stuff like that. So just from a safety aspect, you know, that's,
It's one of the conditions of the site plan.
okay. Thank you very much, sir. So that's all I have. Thank you, guys. I'll yield the floor.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Watts?
So I have a lot of concerns about this. I went back and I watched the Planning Commission meeting. And I've watched it twice because I was prepared for it the last time it was here. And then I refreshed my memory on Sunday again by watching the meeting again. And so I'll start with the driveways. And if you read the impact statement, or the stuff that's attached to the impact statement, it says that four variances are required for all, or variances are required for all 4 driveways, and they only applied for 2. And the planning director made it very clear that the 2 driveways that are here tonight actually need to be moved to fall into code, because they're too close to the intersection, and they cause a traffic problem. So that's a huge concern. I can't get behind that. To bring it up to code, it's something that has to be done. Now I'm concerned about the other 2 driveways because there wasn't a variance request for that. So that means that they're either going to come back or they're going to be in violation. The second thing was they retained the 31% of the lot coverage. The only way that they could get around that without a variance is they would have to tear down a percentage of the building to come in compliance. I don't think that's going to happen. But here's the bigger concern about all this. And listening to the Planning Commission meeting, they're talking about it's a daycare after school, no problem. And they said maximum of 150 people, or 150 kids. Okay, that's not a problem. And then they talked about the banquet hall and community center, and it was never very clear about how many people. And then it came out like 10 minutes in that they would possibly host up to 800 people. And there was residents there at that Planning Commission meeting that was voiced a concern about parking on the side streets and in the neighborhood and the condos and what have you. And they said, well, no, we have enough parking. Well, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out how you're going to have enough parking for 800 people with 132 spots. That's not happening. Because most people either come with 1 or 2 people in a car. They don't come with 6 or 8 people. There's no way, if they're going to have any kind of event for 800 people, it's going to impede the neighborhood, and that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a huge problem. So, like I say, I have a problem with that, and we've seen this in some other places where variances have been given, and we're having problems with parking and stuff. So I can't get behind this in any way, shape, or form. Let me see if there was another one. Yeah, so that was the thing. The driveways, in order to come into compliance, you know, they have to move no matter what use, because, I mean, it's a new building. They got our new property owners, and you have to bring it up to code. And to do a variance and still cause a traffic problem with those drives where they're at just doesn't make any sense to me why we would do that. And like I say, then the other thing is parking. I yield the floor.
May I respond?
Not right now, unless there's a question for you.
I have some comments.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Lindsay.
So I would have to agree with my colleague over here. I mean, if the driveways, we've seen these mosques come before us before, and the parking always becomes a problem. The call to prayer always becomes a problem with people showing up, and these spaces are just not built for that many people at once. So these driveways are already needing a variance, and then we can overpopulate this lot with people at any given time. That's a major concern. So I won't be in favor of that as well. The other things that we've seen, and not that it affects tonight, but for the board to be mindful of, is we see these things come before us, we approve a variance here or there, and then we get another one, and then we get another one, and all of a sudden we build upon and build upon and build upon these properties, and all of a sudden they're too much. So I'm not in favor. I'm going to be a no vote on this. I think this is a detriment. It's not necessary for the space, and creating the variance, I think is gonna give us a problem. I'll yield the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Lindsay. I just want to get a clarification.
Mr. Chair, I have a comment.
Yes, Mr. Green?
This school, I guess the way it's represented to me seems, so you're representing this school as a K through 12 school, right? That's what it says in the backup.
The ages of the students.
K through 12. But it's an after-school program where you're gonna teach religion. So my specific question is, and you said this is gonna service the neighborhood. Well, 12 and Ryan, I'm looking at 12 and Ryan. I'm just looking at other sites. And I'm concerned with, I'll be specific. How do you qualify, how will my son qualify to go to that school at 4:30? What does he have to do? What's the process for me to get my son enrolled in that school when it opens?
May I respond?
Yeah, that's a question.
Okay. This is not a regular school.
I'm sorry?
This is not a regular school, K-12 school. It's not a regular school. It's after the regular school
understand that, yeah.
timing, which the school, after they dismissed from the school, the kids, instead of going home or something, maybe their parents are working or something, they're gonna come here. They're gonna spend the hours from 4:30 to 7:30.
I understand that, but
and
who's gonna come there? How?
mostly from the Muslim community people, yes.
So
this will be
if my son's not a Muslim, he can't go there.
Well, if he wants to come, he's welcome.
So again, I'm asking what the process is.
This is a religious
I'm
education.
asking you, I understand that, but my specific question is, what is the procedure I would use as a resident to get my son in that school? Because it's for the community.
You just come and register
Well,
your...
what's the actual procedure? You must have it already, you must have it already.
Yes.
What do you do? Can I go online and fill forms out, or, and is there restrictions on who can go there and who can't go there?
So this is Mushfiqur Rahman.
I'm sorry.
2501 Bloomfield Crossing, Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. So basically, it is not a regular school. It is the religious school, and anybody can come there. They can learn our religious. At the same time, we have the physical exercise room over there, the gaming room also over there. The boys after school, they can come, they can play over there, they can work their exercise. At the same time, they have some religious learning.
So you made an interesting comment. The boys, girls can't go to school there?
Yeah. Boys and girls
Okay,
both.
all right.
Boys and girls both come. Just we have the accommodated for 75 boys students and 75 for the girls students. And that will be separated entry and the separated facilities over there.
So, so my question again is, and this must have been thought out. So you said you can hold 150 kids. So if my son wants to go there, what's the procedure?
Yes, there is a normal.
You say anybody can go there.
Yes,
but what's
sir.
the procedure?
Yes, the procedure is there. There will be admission system is there. Anybody can come and then they will register here. It is actually, sir, it is under construction and under process. We did not establish all these things, but we will establish all the procedure for the registration and for the admission. Because we bought this building, still we didn't get the approval for construction. We will do some reconstruction. There is remodeling, something like that.
Okay.
And we have the space that is very familiar to our plan. Very easily we can, some remodeling, we can have these classes as well as the exercise room, the gaming room. At the same time, just we can get our community center also.
And also, Okay, that doesn't make me feel any better. So this driveway thing is an issue, because the planning was clear, it was clear at planning that the driveway layout is an issue. And I don't know how we can proceed without taking that into consideration. So I have concerns about that. And I also have concerns about the parking. I calculated, using your numbers, that at one particular time, you could have 950 people with the school and the banquet center. And schools and banquet centers, that's not a question. Schools and banquet centers it seems like not a very compatible, like, it just doesn't seem compatible. I'm just looking at the use of the building. So I have a lot of concerns, and I think I'm going to be a no vote, because I don't think these variances are good, and I have major concerns about who's going to be eligible to go to this school. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Green. I had a question just want to clarify, because when I look at the site plan, I see that property, I mean, right now, there's 4 driveways. But when I look at the site plan, I see 2. So you are getting rid of 2 of the driveways?
That's why what I wanted to clarify for this gentleman. The 2 closest driveways are gonna be closed. This is also mentioned in the site plan meeting. It was discussed, and that's one of the conditions of the site plan approval. So 2 driveways are gonna close. The only 2 driveways that are gonna stay, the further away from the intersection.
That's all I wanted to clarify.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Watts.
that's not what was said at the planning meeting, and that's why I watch the planning meetings.
You can see the conditions of the site plan.
So, I have them in front of me.
Well, the farthest one's 421 feet.
And in my site plan drawing, which is presented to the zoning board of appeal, it shows the 2 driveways closest to the intersection are closed.
Those aren't the driveways in question now. Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Green.
Yeah, I don't think those are the driveways in question. I don't want to get in an argument or, about it, but I think the driveways that are the driveways that are going to stay open are the ones that aren't 500 feet from a major intersection. And to me, that even gives me more credence to say, okay, so we're potentially going to have 900, I can add 950 people, and we're going to close 2 driveways. It doesn't add up to me, so that's it. That's all.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Assessor.
Mr. Schuman, maybe you can explain about these driveways a little bit better, please?
Yes, the planning commission recommended to close the 2 driveways closest to the intersections. And that's what their site plan shows. If you look at the second one, so the 2 remaining that they're asking to keep is the one on Ryan at 457 feet from the intersection, and the one on 11 Mile at 421 feet from the intersection.
So basically, the farthest one on Ryan by the Rite Aid, then the farthest one on 11 Mile, if I'm reading this correctly?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
And that is because of ordinance 511, which covers schools and churches and such, where it wasn't needed for the shopping center previously.
Okay.
But the ordinance for churches and schools say that they should be 500 feet.
All right, thank you. I yield.
Mr. Chair, before Mr. Schuman
Yes,
gets too far.
Yes, Mr. Sofia.
I just had one other question. I see the C2 zoning designation. A banquet facility falls within the use for that zone?
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't have a problem with the school. The banquet facility is technically allowed in that zoning designation. But that just makes, the parking and the layout even more important. I personally don't find of the banquet hall compatible with the neighbors in the back and the lack of parking, but I don't have a problem with the school. I think the school is a compatible use. That's about the same intensity as what was previously there. But I'm just having concerns with the parking. I know those two entrances are being closed off. And in a way, I understand why they want those, access points closed off, because they're close to the intersection. But at the same time, that just backs up the traffic even more. But as far as the variances go that are being requested tonight, I don't have a problem with item 2, the 31% coverage. They're allowed 30%. It's been like that forever. Obviously, we don't want them to take down part of the building. That wouldn't be feasible. So that just leaves the approach, that's 457, which should be 500. So that's what we're, the main item that we have to consider. And the other is the parking requirement. The parking requirement, I know for a C2 use, having that amount of parking, there's more parking on here than what is allowed in that designation, but it just seems kind of a funny, antiquated ordinance. I know, but to on paper have enough parking, but to have a 28,000 square foot building that's can have a very large event, it's reason for concern. So with those comments, I'll yield.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Watts?
if nobody else has anything, I'm prepared to make a motion.
I don't see any other comments, so go ahead.
Okay, my motion would be to deny the variances to retain the driveway approach on Ryan Road to within 457 feet of the approach on 11 Mile Road to within 420 feet of the intersection of Ryan Road and 11 Mile Road. To deny to retain the 31% of lot coverage, and 3, retain the parking in the front setback along 11 Mile Road to within 9 feet of the property line, and in the side setback along Ryan Road to within 27 feet 7 inches of the west property line. The reason for denial is, 1, this was self-imposed. They should have checked this out beforehand. Secondly, the driveways, as I listen to it, the 2 driveways definitely need to be moved because it's already creating a traffic problem. And if they have the kind of people that they were saying at the planning meeting in there, we know we're going to have a huge traffic problem. And also we're going to have a parking problem. And I'm concerned about the dollar store that they're leasing property to. I'm concerned about the chicken shack on the corner. And I'm concerned about the places across the street that if they have a big event, they're just going to go park in those lots. And then they're put a dampener on those businesses. So I think it would be a detriment to the area. And the property can be used as it is for what it was designated for originally.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion to deny by Mr. Watts, support by Mr. Lindsay for the reasons stated. So it's going to be a yes vote to deny.
Mr. Watts?
Yes, for the reason stated in the motion.
Mr. Lindsay?
Yes to deny, and I would actually add that strict compliance would not cause an unreasonable impact or burden.
Mr. Clift?
Yes to deny.
Mr. Safaya?
No, I think we should do a partial approval. I would approve item 2 of the request only.
Mr. Assessor?
Yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Perry?
Yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Green?
Yes to deny.
Ms. Jersey votes yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion. Chairman Nestovich?
I'm going to vote no because I think that a partial approval could be done or something. But your request today was denied.
Item 9.
Takes us to item
Item 9, applicant Beyond Capital, Representative Karen Birdie, common description 21353 Edam. Variance requested permission to operate an indoor vehicle dismantling and recycling business in an M2 zoning district.
Good evening. Karen Birdie on behalf of Beyond Capital. My address is 28225 Mound Road. 48092. I don't know what to tell you. In any event, Beyond Capital is a company that is affiliated with iDrive Auto Parts that wants to do dismantling of cars for iDrive. So on this drawing, as you know, this is all iDrive, and this is iDrive, and this is the property we're talking about now on Edom, right here. And then I turn it over, and you can see Prospect and Edom. This property is zoned M2, and it has been vacant for quite some time. And I believe the reason that it's been vacant is because it is only 5,000 square feet. And what happens, and some of that is office, some of that 5,000 square feet is office. It's not really large enough for a lot of M2 uses. And it stayed vacant for quite some time. My client, Beyond Capital, purchased that building, and boy, did they do some cleanup. If you recall, this was overgrown by trees, shrubbery, etc., and it has now been all cleaned up. So when my client applied for a certificate of compliance, I went to the city and I had discussed that it was my opinion, which didn't carry much, that this was an M2 use, and that the use for dismantling vehicles is an M2 use, just as you do car repair, car dismantling, same type of thing. And at first, I was agreed with. I was told, yes, that makes sense, M2 use. And then about a month later, I got a phone call and an email that said that that decision was overrode by the chief zoning inspector, and that he felt that it was under junkyard M4. So if we look at the property, I put one of these at everybody's desk, and what I want to show is, this is the subject property right here that's M2. It is surrounded by, this is M3, this is M3, this is M3. This little piece right here is M4. This has a use variance for M4, that entire purple area. But this side of Groesbeck is all M2, M3, and M4. This piece of property being used for dismantling vehicles, indoors only, will not be a detriment to the area. So our variance is that we're being required to be in a zoning M4, and we're in an area that is full of M2, M3, and M4. We're asking for a use variance to be able to dismantle vehicles only within the building. This would not be a detriment to the area. It would not impact the area in a negative way. As a matter of fact, the cleanup that has taken place there has impacted the area in a positive way. With regard to that, it's not self-imposed. The building was already there, already on the footprint that it's on. I think that this extension, if you will, of the same type of use over in that area is logical, and it keeps our buildings being useful, etc. So again, originally, they started with the CFC application and with the information that I had that we were okay as M2, and then that changed. And so I had expressed to the building department that they had started work, and I was told to get an application in fast for a variance. And like I said, a lot of times when I do a lot of this zoning work, how can I say this the right way? A lot of times, there are different interpretations. My interpretation that it should be M2, I think is logical, but it's not agreed with by the city. And at that point, I have one of two options. Option one is I can come to you guys and ask for your interpretation on if you agree with the chief zoning inspector, or I can go with what the chief zoning inspector says and ask for applicable variances. I chose to honor the chief zoning inspector's opinion and ask for the variance.
Okay. Thank you for that explanation, Ms. Birdie. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this item? Not seeing any, or close the public portion and turn it over to the board for questions and discussion.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Cliff.
Good evening, Ms. Birdie.
Good evening.
I just want to preface what I'm about to ask with the, my thoughts kind of line up where yours do on interpretations, and yeah, it's antiquated ordinances that put us into a big bind more times than not. That being said, I'm to understand all the dismantling takes place inside. There'll be no outside storage of junk or hulk vehicles or remnants or whatever. It goes in as one thing and comes out as many without anything cluttering up the streets, property, adjacent lots, anything like that?
Correct.
Okay. All right, that's all I wanted to clarify. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Jersey.
Good evening, Ms. Birdie.
Good evening.
So behind the building, the lot on Prospect, when I'm looking at the map here, so in question would be this area.
Okay.
Is this attached to iDrive, or is that owned by, who owns that section of property?
Okay, now, on the corner, because I'm not sure where you're pointing,
So right
on
here
the
where
corner,
Prospect is, right west of the building, so this whole empty lot right
The
here.
whole thing is not owned by one entity. So the building that you see on the corner, I can show you. So here's Prospect and here's Edom. The property right here is not owned by Beyond Capital. So it's just this small building and this just very small lot. There's another business here. I think it's a trucking business, and they're a little messy. It's not our fault.
Yeah.
It's not us.
I just didn't know if you guys, if this parcel right here was attached to iDrive. I guess the point
The
of,
answer's no.
the point of me asking that is just, I didn't want that to become an open storage for cars possibly waiting to be processed. That's what I was kind of leading into.
Oh, are you talking, Mr. Jersey, about this lot here?
It'd be just to, it would be, if you're looking at it, it'd be to the west of the building.
West of the building to the west, so that's.
So towards the railroad tracks, going towards the railroad
Oh,
tracks.
no, that's not us.
You know, on the west side of the building between that and the railroad tracks. So it's the trucking company that owns all that?
It's not us.
Okay, it's not iDrive?
It's not iDrive, and it's not Beyond Capital.
Okay,
That's correct, right?
okay.
Yes. He's talking about up here.
So just west of the building, so this lot right here, sir?
Yeah.
So this section of building, right, this section of lot right here. So here's your building, so this section of lot, right through here.
No, that's not ours.
That's not yours? Okay. So, so that was the first question. Second question, is all the fluid going to be drained from the cars before it gets to this facility, or is it going to be drained in the facility, or what's?
Indoors, inside,
So the cars will be coming there with fluid and
yes.
things of that nature,
Will
so.
go in, be drained, and
So yet again, on the site plan, there's absolutely no plan on the interior, the plan on the interior of the building. When I looked at it, I mean, it's got a nice diagram of the restroom, which I didn't really need to see, but it would have been helpful to see some kind of storage area for all these chemicals on the site plan. you know, hey, all the oil's gonna go here, all the antifreeze is gonna be stored here. And there's nothing on the site plan, so I'm going off of, it's not gonna happen. I mean, if it's not on the site plan, because here's the thing, it's not, how do you enforce it? You know, if it's not on the site plan too. I know you get the state inspections and all that, I get that, you know.
But also, he belongs to recycler associations. You can't be acting in that fashion and be part of those organizations because they have inspections. I didn't tell you that, but I learned that from my client, and he wanted me to talk about that.
Well, here's the
so
thing
I'm in
too, I
trouble.
mean,
But-
if it's just that easy, it would be just that easy too, to just put it on the plan too, wouldn't it? I mean, to some degree where it's gonna
I
be.
didn't know that that was,
I mean, if you have flammables and stuff like that, I mean, it's just, to me, with, you know, just from an employee standpoint, you know, just, I'd want to know what's happening. So that, to me, I mean, I know you didn't make the site plan, you know, I'm not holding you accountable for any of it, but to me, it's kind of a chopped up job as far as the site plan goes.
but I do want to assure you, they're not dumping that. I think that would have.
I'm not insinuating he is.
Yeah.
I'm not claiming that he is.
Right.
I'm not telling them that he is, or I'm not making those accusations. It'd just be nice to see something on the site plan saying, hey, all used oil goes into this bay or into this area.
Okay.
Used gasoline and antifreeze here, you know, and things of that nature. So that was a little concerning when I have no doubt you probably run an outstanding business and an upstanding business, but from outsider looking in, you know, maybe take this as a lesson maybe going forward, that if you do make any modifications to the building, we'd like to see some kind of plan for disposal of, I know you're not gonna be draining on the property back there, and, you know, like Mr. Watts said on the previous item, that area's been a disaster as long as I've been in this town, and you guys have really cleaned up that area very nicely, to the best of your ability that you can. So those are just my concerns with it. How many vehicles will you have in the building at one time? So just 4? Oh,
Four
that's
at a
it?
time.
That's it? I was thinking like maybe 8. It's like, you know, because it is a small building. I did go by there, and it is a tight building, but that's just my concern. I guess, would you be open to a condition of no open storage on the lot if we threw that, you know, threw that out there? You know,
Absolutely.
just for the future, you know, how everything goes with the land,
Yep.
just to protect that little property. So maybe whoever makes the motion, we make a condition that there's no open storage of used auto parts and no selling of cars on the property and things of that nature. So with that, I'll yield the floor. Thank you for the information, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Sofia.
I want to thank Mr. Jersey. That was my question about the lot, you know, next to you, so I'm glad that's not affiliated with you, because that lot could use a lot of work. As far as the site plan goes, I don't have a problem with the site plan as presented, only because I know the chemical storage is inside, and I kind of learned firsthand in Warren, applying for this myself, that once you get the certificate of occupancy in the building, nobody's coming in to look whether you move something around or not. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a good idea, that it, you know, it should have been on there, but it's not a deal breaker for me because the storage and of the chemicals and whatnot is inside. Also, I disagree with the city's determination of this being called a junkyard. I don't think of a junkyard as, you know, junking or, you know, recycling inside of a building. Because all of the activities are taking place inside the building, I would agree that this is more of an M2, you know, use. And nonetheless, it is really a technicality if you look at that zoning overlay map. I mean, look at it, everything is, on that side of Groesbeck is dark. You know, it's all M2, M3, M4. So for me, I have no problem approving this if there aren't any other comments. I'll add that language in about no open storage, because I like that.
Selling cars or whatever.
Yeah, no open storage and no selling of cars. If that's, okay. Any other?
Any other questions or discussion? And now, if you'd like to make a motion?
Okay. I move that we grant permission to allow, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one here. I move that we make a motion to grant permission to operate an indoor vehicle dismantling and recycling business in an M2 zoning district, provided that there will be no open storage and no selling of vehicles on the property, due to the size and shape of the lot, and it's not a detriment to the area.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. Sophia. I heard a number of support, so I think Mr. Assessor is first for support.
Before me. Quick on the draw.
Roll call.
Mr. Sophia?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Assessor?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Perry?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Watts?
Yes, for the reasons stated in motion.
Mr. Green?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Clift?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Lindsay?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Jersey votes yes for reasons stated in motion. Chairman Ostorovich?
A yes for reasons stated in the motion. Your
Thank you.
request is approved.
Thank you very much.
Takes us to item 10, applicant Alex Hano, Representative Eddie Hano, common description 32150 DeQuinder. Variance is requested permission to, 1, allow a proposed used car lot to abut an existing automobile storage business that is located immediately to the east and south of the property. 2, to allow a 13-foot one-way maneuvering lane to the north of the building and a 14-foot one-way maneuvering lane to the south of the building.
Good evening, zoning board. My name is Alex Hano. I'm from 4868 Vineyards Boulevard, Sterling Heights, Michigan. I would just like to request, first of all, to adjourn my part of this meeting, maybe by chance reschedule it for the August 26th meeting, if that's a possibility.
I don't see why not. Would you like to just postpone it indefinitely for a time to be determined, or would
No,
you?
specifically August 26th.
August 26th?
The next one.
Nicole, does that work with the schedule? Okay. So, I guess I'm going to make a motion to postpone this item to the August 26th meeting.
Support.
Or,
Mr. Green?
We have a motion by Mr. Jersey and was the support by Mr. Green to postpone this to the August 26th meeting.
Mr. Jersey votes yes to postpone. Mr. Green?
Yes, to postpone.
Mr. Watts?
Yes.
Mr. Assessor?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Clift?
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay?
Yes.
Mr. Sophia?
yes to postpone.
Chairman Ostovich?
Yes. So your request is postponed.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Takes us to item 11, applicant B Tires LLC, Bashar Hamo. Hopefully I said that correctly. Representative Jeffrey Graham, common description 147318 Mile. Variance is requested permission to, 1, allow open storage in a C2 zoning district, that's a use. 2, allow the storage of a semi-trailer measuring 8 feet by 45 feet by 13.5 feet in height to store used or shredded tires in the front setback to within 12.2 feet of the east property line. 3, waive 5 required parking spaces. 4, allow parking in the side setback along 8 Mile Road to the property line. 5, waive the required green belt / wall along the north property line.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Graham. I'm project architect. My address is 589 Pemberton, Grosse Pointe Park. I work for Chemtech and Associates, and we're representing the owner, Bashar Amal. This is a fairly clean operation. It's a tire company that all the tires are not on site. What they do is they actually store them in a trailer, so there's no loose tires anywhere on site. If you go to the site right now, you won't see any. And then what happens at once a month, he swaps out the tires, the trailer out, and gets new sets in order to work on them in his shop, and then puts them back in once he's done. What we're trying to do is allow open storage. The open storage is actually only the trailer. That's all we need to have is the trailer. To allow the waive 5 required parking spaces, he doesn't need the parking, and if in the event that he moves out of that location, once the trailer is moved, you have the 5 parking spaces are back. He's been operating that business for 14 years. Also, we'd like to waive the required green belt and wall along the north property line. If you look at the site, you'll notice on the north property line, the site is too small to remove the trailer if there's a wall placed there. And there is a wall on the other side of the alley. There's a wooden fence on the other side of the alley, right next to the residences. We have worked out with the planning department. We've met with them several times, and they've wanted some concessions, and we've given them, and we are willing to do that. That is to add a green belt along 8 Mile and also along Eastwood Boulevard. It's going to be we're replacing the concrete with a green belt and adding landscaping, and also and landscape protected by a curb. The other thing that we've agreed to do is to widen the existing concrete drive. That drive was installed many decades ago, and the current requirement is for a lot wider driveway access, and we have agreed to make that change. Are there any questions that you may have?
Okay, thank you for that explanation. This is a public hearing. Is there any members of the audience wishing to speak on this? Not seeing any, or close the public portion, and...
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Impact
Oh,
statement.
I'm sorry. Mr. Chair?
Isn't that- Oh, that's the one we postponed.
Yes, it was. Correct.
Okay, so, Mr.
Sure.
Watts?
To the petitioner, I got a couple questions.
Hi, my name is Bashar Hammo,
Okay.
and the address 14731 East 8 Mile Road, Warren, Michigan 48089.
So you've been there 14 years,
Yes,
and you never had a certificate of compliance?
I have everything. With the city?
Yeah.
Yes, they come and inspectors, and before the first I buy the building.
I don't see that here. Secondly, if you don't need the parking, what
Not
are
just
your
I want to waive 2 parking because for the trees, I gonna put on, they gonna, my
I
parking.
mean, you're running a tire business, so I would assume you're gonna have to have parking for cars to come in,
We have
customers.
3 spaces.
That's all I need, 3 spaces. That's all I need, because I drive through. Everything we do, the work inside.
And I understand that. I was down there, and I'm gonna be very honest with you.
Yes.
I think the place looks horrible.
Yeah.
If I lived in one of those houses, or any of those houses, on any of those streets, and I had to drive by there and see that semi-truck sitting there, I'd lose my mind.
Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely. I would not want that in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
It just, it looks terrible. And there's no way I can get behind having a semi-trailer sitting there like that on that. It doesn't look good coming into the city from East Point, from Detroit, at all.
It's hiding, it's all the way in the back. And,
No, it's not. It's sitting right in the front. You can see it as you're driving down the road. It's
But
right in those
I-
parking spots
I know, not 8 Mile,
on 8 Mile.
the Eastwood.
Right by Eastwood, yeah. You can see it from 8 Mile. You can see it, you go down Eastwood, you can see it.
Yeah, but I never have any complaint.
I don't care. It's, you need a variance, and you're asking for 5 variances. And to me, that means it doesn't fit the area. The place looks terrible, and I can't get behind this. This is ridiculous. So, I got a question for Mr. Schulman. Good evening. I looked this up at home. I can't get my internet to come up here. But I don't see a record of ever having a certificate of compliance there.
He obtained it in 2015.
I didn't see it on the BSNA, so my apologies for that.
It might not be showing up in the public record. I just looked it up.
That would not surprise me. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Dean?
I also drove by, and the semi-truck it's right in, like 20 feet from a resident, and it's just not a good look. It would make me think that maybe the facility's not big enough for what you're doing, so I'm gonna be a no vote. If anybody drove by, they would know what I'm talking about.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Lindsay?
I'm gonna agree with the comments that I'm hearing, especially regarding the semi-truck trailer. I mean, I look back at the enforcement on this property. This trailer has been a problem since 2015. And now it's like we're here to grant permission. It just doesn't fit the building. I mean, if this was behind the yard or something, that's one thing, but it's right out in front. We can see it on the picture that's provided with the aerial view. I mean, it's right in front, it's right next to somebody's house. If this is what's needed, it's just not the right property for the business. It's been an issue for years and years and years. So I can't get behind this. I'm gonna be a no vote.
Thank you, Mr. Lindsay.
Mr. Chair, and the biggest
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Safan.
The biggest problem with this, I mean, there's only 3 parking spots, one of which is a handicap spot. I mean, I have more parking at my little house in Warren than this big commercial building, so it's ridiculous. This is gonna be a no vote, obviously.
Mr. Chair, I got one more comment if it would. There's a lot of tire stores in this city. And as you guys know, I drive all around this city. And I don't know of any tire store, and there's a couple large ones in city, that I don't see a semi-trailer at any one of them. And like I say, this is an eyesore, and it's been there forever, and now they want 5 variances. I can't get behind this. I yield.
May I say something? We would like to abandon the request and reschedule and rethink the thing and maybe come up with a different solution to the trailer.
Do we have a motion to do that from the board?
I think we can, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Green?
Continue with where we're at. This is a little late in the game. I'm gonna make a motion to deny, because we're not gonna serve the purpose of what we need to do.
Okay.
I will
let's
yield
see-
to the.
Mr.
Let's see
Attorney.
what the other comments are, because I see that, Mr. Safai?
I would be willing to make one adjournment.
What would be the purpose of, I'm just curious, I'm not asking you, I'm just, so I'm asking the petitioner, what would be the purpose of this adjournment?
Excuse me.
Well,
I
it's
get
pretty
confused
obvious,
a lot.
hold on a second, I'm not asking a question. It's pretty obvious that if you come back with a trailer, it's never gonna pass. So you're saying that you're gonna think about not having a trailer. Here's my concern, and guys, we've done this before, and I'm gonna address this during the new business. We've done this multiple times. We give somebody, we let somebody say they're gonna come back, they don't come back, and 6 months from now, you're gonna drive by there and that trailer's still gonna be there. Because we already know how this goes. So I mean, we can make the motion and do it, and I'll just vote no on it, that's all.
Well, Mr. Green, there's 2 things. Number one, the other gentleman that was before them, we gave them one option to reschedule, which in an effort of fairness, I thought, okay, I would permit one rescheduling. However, I wouldn't have it open-ended where it could be put off until a date they decide. I would just be willing to give them, maybe.
I guess my point is, and we'll stop, I guess I don't want to bicker back and forth. My point is, the other petitioner asked for the postponement before we had any discussion on it.
That's true.
And this is, to me, it's a little different, but I respect what I understand what you're saying.
Mr. Chair?
Yes,
I'd like to
Mr. Lindsay.
make A comment just regarding the possibility of, postponing this. I would agree with Mr. Green. I mean, the difference that we would look here is that gentleman, for the last petitioner, he didn't hear his case, and now, so we have a petitioner that's clearly hearing the board's comments, feeling that he's gonna get an unfavorable vote, and wanting to reschedule. That's not what we're here to do. We've heard the petitioner's case. We're here to make a vote on it. I'm prepared to do that. I've heard all that I need to hear. If he's got another thing, he can submit another variance. But as this plan sits in front of us, we've heard it. I don't think we should be rescheduling just because he thinks he's gonna get an unfavorable decision. I don't have a question for you.
Can I
sorry.
say something?
Not if there's not a question directed towards you.
No,
So, Can I address this city attorney and ask her?
Go ahead, Mr. Green.
Sorry,
It's not been a second on the motion.
What?
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Do we have,
To get it
do we-
to the floor, you should give a second.
Well, he made a motion, but there's not a second on it yet, so.
Mr. Green, did you make a motion?
No.
Mr. Sophia did, I thought.
I didn't formally make the motion.
Oh, you didn't formally? Okay, so there's no
I do
motion.
have one other comment, if I may. So I understand, my initial reaction was just deny it, let them refile everything. However, if we do deny this tonight, they'll, in 2 weeks, they'll file another new variance request, which would probably take them more time to get back to us than it would if we just rescheduled it one time and made a decision, because they'll get violated for the trailer right away. What is the remedy? They file a new petition, and that will give them more time than just rescheduling it for a month. So that's why I wanted to reschedule it, but if it's the consensus that we don't want to reschedule it, I'm fine with denying it too.
My question to the city attorney was, if a petitioner asks, like, anytime during the process to postpone, do we have to,
Well, what the petitioner is here for is to have his variance request heard, which you did start hearing. So I think that you either vote on it now, or like the other guy did, adjourn before you
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
Considering those comments, I would make a motion unless anybody has anything else to say.
any other comments from the board before? Sounds like, go ahead, Mr. Lindsay.
Okay, I'll make a motion to deny permission to, 1, allow open storage in a C2 zoning district, 2, allow the storage of a semi-trailer measuring 8 feet by 45 feet by 13.5 feet in height to store used or shredded tires in the front setback to within 12.2 feet of the east property line. 3, waive 5 required parking spaces. 4, allow parking in the side setback along 8 Mile Road to the property line. And 5, waive the required green belt wall along the north property line. Due to the fact it's a detriment, it's not necessary, there's nothing unique about the property, and I think the property can be used as zoned.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Lindsay, support by Mr. Assessor.
I have one quick question on your motion. I didn't catch it if you said it. You also included number 1, right? The use variance?
Yeah,
Okay.
deny permission, 1, to allow open storage.
Okay, I missed it, I'm sorry. Thank you.
For the record.
Yep.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Lindsay, support by Mr. Assessor, to deny the request for the reasons stated in the motion. So it'll be a yes vote is to deny.
Mr. Lindsay?
Yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Assessor?
Yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Perry?
Yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Watts?
Yes, for the reason stated in the motion.
Mr. Green?
Yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Clift?
no, I would have entertained a reschedule.
Mr. Sophia?
No, I would have entertained one reschedule.
Mr. Jersey votes no. I would entertain one reschedule. Chairman Ostorovich?
I also vote no. I would have been open for a reschedule. Unfortunately, your request was denied in a 5-4 vote.
So I thought it would take a superior majority to vote no. Does it take more than 5?
It's a use. It has to be approved by 6. Use variance, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
And you need 6
You need 6 positive.
to approve.
But what about to deny? How many-
So the same for about that. It's just to get your motion passed, you need 6.
I see. So it doesn't work the other way where it's. if it's a
No, not that I'm aware of unless you have.
No, that I know.
Right.
Okay. Okay, that takes us to new business. One item that we had there was regarding the ZBA rules of procedure. I know, I saw that it came out today.
Yes,
I
it
did-
did.
I did
and
not-
I just got put on this meeting, and I was gone all afternoon, so I just got it myself. So
Yeah.
I'm not prepared to
Yeah.
discuss this.
Because I know I did not review it at all. It was-
Jennifer is the one that did this anyway.
Yes. So I wasn't sure if anybody had a chance to review it or. if we
did
should
not.
just Move it to the next meeting.
I didn't have a chance to review any of it either. So I don't know if any other board.
Unfortunately, I'm behind on my email a day.
Yeah.
I've never caught up, so I'm gonna need until the next meeting to review it.
I have,
I'll take a copy if you have it.
Discuss it legally if you want legal advice how to go through it. I know, I'm just saying.
I'll take a copy,
Take
please.
a copy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And do we need a motion to just move this to the next one
I'll
since
never
it's
find
under
it.
new business, or
Yeah, postpone it to
August
26th. Yep.
This is updated with the first one.
I'd like to make a motion to postpone the ZBA rules of procedure to the August 26th meeting.
we have a motion by Mr. Jersey, it was supported by Mr. Lindsay. All in favor?
Aye.
Is anybody opposed? So that will be moved to the August 26th meeting.
Mr. Chair, I have two items.
Yes, Mr. Green?
Thank you. Brian, can I ask you a question real quick? So, and this is for the benefit of board members too, because we keep on falling into the trap. So, I brought Thrifty Florist up at the last meeting. Can you tell me anything about that?
I looked at the site plan. I was by the 12 and Shaner one. That looked like it was in compliance with what was
Okay.
requested on the plan.
So here's the problem. So I was very specific, and this is frustrating. I'm sorry. I was very specific. 13 and Ryan. So let me temper myself. I was very specific, 13 and Ryan. So here's where we're at. When we start, and I guess I'm going to be quick. When we start making these motions, we got to put conditions on. Because if we don't have conditions, whether people here like it or not, if we don't have conditions, we can't go back and have a hearing because we have nothing to have a hearing on. And we do have a tool. We can bring these people back and say they're not in compliance. I don't think they're in compliance with the 600 foot of outside sales. But if you go and look at the building, this is a problem. So instead of, as a board member, asking someone to go look at it, I'm John Green, and I live at 344 Cusno. I'm a resident of the city of Warren. I'm making a formal complaint. That building is an absolute pigsty. I'm not taking that if you have a dumpster, you can't put it in your enclosure because your company told you not to. Get a new company.
Shaner or
13 and Ryan.
Oh, 13 and
Drive by it. The walls are falling off. They got that fake brick. They're literally falling off the building. On top of that, the grass on the curbs is growing up taller than the curbs. They have no striping in their parking lot, and we asked at the last meeting if it was an ordinance. It's an ordinance. You gotta have your parking lot striped, and guess what? They don't have an ADH parking spot anywhere in that lot. And their parking lot's full of potholes. It's a mess. So I'm making a formal complaint.
I will pass that along to Chief Zoning Inspector Everett Murphy.
All right.
Hold on. Well, don't go away. Don't run away.
Thank you.
So you were you were 12 in Shaner? Because last,
I went past there, yes.
I didn't, as I recall, the dumpsters has never been put into the dumpster enclosure.
Nothing was said about a dumpster at 12 and Shaner. That was the.
Oh, we did at the zoning meeting, when they were in for their variances for the open, outside
Okay, I'm
storage.
talking about Mr. Green's.
So that's a problem too. That place, it just like, both of them look terrible.
Okay.
You know, so it's frustrating. So I have another question, if you don't mind. The last one that we just denied.
Yes.
So obviously, this trailer's been there 11 years. It's been a problem. There's been open orders on it. So where do you guys go from here? Because
Inspector will be writing a ticket to him if he doesn't remove it within, I don't know how many days he had on the original notice before he applied for the variance, but.
Man, I don't know if you've been down there, but it's bad. And, you know, we continue to do these, and I think I'm gonna start a spreadsheet on denials, because I think out of all the denials that we've had since I've been on, I think only 2 of them have complied. The rest of them are all still out there getting by with this. And I have a serious problem with that. A serious problem. We're here for a reason, and we deny things for a reason. And if people aren't gonna clean up, then there has to be action taken. And I agree with Mr. Green. I think we should start putting conditions on each item that we pass so that we make sure that these places come into compliance.
So to finish, this is probably a waste of time, but guys, I take this serious. And so here's where we're at right now. I drove by a guy paving his front yard again. So this is, whether it's gone away or not, it hasn't gone away. A municipal zoning ordinance functions as a binding law. We've talked about this before. Local governments and their enforcement officials are legally required to apply and enforce maps and standards written in their codes. These rules control land use, buildings, placements, and compliance with procedures. The binding effect is no structures or land can be used or altered except for the ways listed in the code. State Enabling Act. Local powers to enforce the codes come from the state law, the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act, which sets how rules must apply. This is an administrative duty, guys. So the cities and township staff must review applications using the exact standards that the local code without any arbitrary exceptions, and that's what we're doing. This has disappeared. And I know it's a problem. In our code, section 4.01 of the Warren Zoning Ordinance explicitly dictates compliance with all laws and states that use not expressly permitted is prohibited. And the legal standard, it means that unless the code explicitly states that property use or building dimensions is allowed, city officials are forbidden from intervening in exceptions. The code must be exactly as written. Enforcement authority, the code designates the division of buildings, blah, 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 blah. This is an arbitrary discretion under the Michigan law, and I'm not going to read the rest of it, but here's my point. So what we're doing is illegal. It is. I mean, it's pretty clear. You can read it all you want. But here's the problem for us, though. So we tried to solve the problem. Remember? We said, yeah, I feel bad for some of these people that had 15 years of this big driveway, and all of a sudden somebody got mad, so he turned them all in. And we did feel bad for them. I felt bad for them, too. They were trying to make their bills, and we're telling them they got to tear this driveway out. So we sat here, let the administration or whoever, I don't know, say, well, it's going to go away for now. Well, sure, that's great. But we've been sitting here for almost a month and a half, and we even gave them an out. Ask for permits and inspections, and they'll stop. And then we'll just let it disappear, which we really aren't supposed to do. So change the ordinance. I haven't heard anything. We can't change the ordinance. So you think someone who's hearing this would say to someone on city council, we need to change the ordinance. And I thought, what takes a long time? I was reading in that backup where they made emergency ordinance changes on a bunch of issues. Why can't somebody do, I'm baffled. Why can't somebody do that? We can't do it. So that's where I'm at, and guess what? We'll never hear about it again.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Jersey.
So I know we have a lot of new board members on the board, and maybe Mr. Schuman could kind of clue us in on this. You know, when we grant a variance or deny it, or say we grant a variance, we'll go with that one. How much time is the landowner given to put those variances in and make them applicable? So if they don't, you know, make them applicable, I'm going off of the one that we granted it's right behind the wine shop, Kenny's Wine Shop, and the guy had a post with a screen going across the wall behind the apartments there. You got the apartments, Kenny's Wine Shop, and then that's off at DeQuinder between 13 and 12. So it's on the east side of the road. Okay. So petitioner came to us, said, hey, I want to put the screen, finish the screen up because people are coming over the wall trying to, enter my property. So we granted it. But to my knowledge, it's never been completed. So at some point, does that variance go away if they don't end up acting on it? And if so,
something that requires a permit, the permits must be pulled or applied for within 1 year from the variance being.
So it's 1 year. What about a business? Is a business the same 1 year, or is it 2 years on a business?
I believe it's still
1
year if it's something that requires a permit.
Okay, so I guess the other problem is too, I say this every year, and most people who have been up here know I do. You guys are grossly understaffed, and I'm getting to the point being on this board, I feel like we're a freckless board because there's not enough staffing to do follow-up, to do preventative, to do anything other than the complaint that comes in for the day. There's nothing proactive, there's no follow-up, and that's not your fault. It's the city's fault for not giving more budget money to your department to allow more inspectors. You know, I've had multiple conversations with multiple people. Whoever will listen, we need at least 30 zoning inspectors in this town to get it cleaned up. At least. And nobody wants to hear it. So, I mean, it doesn't matter what we do at this point. The way I look at it, we prove, we deny. Stuff's going to happen as we see fit. Perfect example, I brought up the fact of, you know, Zuniga Cement, the old Bronco Lanes site. Brought up the fact of the sign at that meeting to Mr. Watrapon. Said, hey, you know, that sign, I don't see a variance in the packet. Oh, yeah, there is no variance. So when they want to use, you know, they got to come for a variance on the sign to, you know, to make it right. We've never seen any kind of variance, and guess what's on the sign? On the illegal sign that's still on the property is Zuniga Cement. So
That was legal when the sign was approved. It went through permit review. I don't recall if there was a previous variance on it or.
So you're telling me that was a 40-square-foot sign? The Bronco Lane
No,
sign?
then there obviously was a variance on it.
There wasn't any, it wasn't included in our packet. I'll pull the
What
minutes from the
variance?
meeting.
What variance request?
They had a new site plan for that site, Zuniga Cement. I brought up the fact that everything on that site was demolished except the sign. There was no variance on that sign. That sign, we've denied stuff that's smaller. You can't tell me that sign is in spec, and there was no.
There was something granted on it. I'll look into it for you because I remember when the permit came in and I thought the same thing.
And, you know, why wasn't the variance, you know, given to us in the
It didn't need a
packet?
variance because the permit wouldn't have been issued if it did need a variance. And there was a permit
So
issued.
this
for
is the
that.
problem. I mean, we get one set of statements from, and I'm not blasting you. I mean, but
look
where,
into it.
so where is, you know, the information that goes in the packet? So, anyway.
So, Brian, do we have a system or some kind of, like, what am I trying to say, we were talking about today? Do we have some kind of computer thing that we put everything on, and then if they do what they say, tell me what
It should be, there should be, it should be spitting out reports to see if things are done.
Like, do we have a computerized system that we put all this stuff in?
Database, yeah.
A database?
And it comes back to?
Everything is in BSNA, like they said, our enforcements, all of our permits, all of your packets and site plan processes and all of that.
So, after we give a variance, does anybody, who goes out and checks it? If you got people, you do it, if you don't?
Maybe who was working on
That
the
particular?
project itself, or if there was an enforcement currently ongoing with it.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr.
I'll bring up one more item, so I know everybody wants to go home. But this is a classic example right here. When I was on council, I had a complaint about a property on Wellington North and 9 Mile. Guy bought this big, beautiful piece of property, and he has a right to do what he can do within the codes. Come in and he clear-cut a beautiful, it was a nursery, just clear-cut the whole thing, bulldoze it over, and put in a plan to build 7 homes. And they were complaining. So then, I never found out what happened. So this lady, she keeps calling me. She goes, something's wrong. So I went online and I looked at it, and I'm like, well, so I went looking for planning, and I couldn't find an agenda item for planning, but lo and behold, I found where it was in front of the planning, or the zoning board of appeals, to build 7 houses. So, I went back, I looked at the minutes, I watched the meeting, and was very clear. 5 houses, all that was allowed to be built. 5. There are 7 homes on that property right now. 7. And nobody will answer this lady's questions. And quite frankly, I have a problem with that. You guys, that was before I was on the board, so whoever was here then, And it was, and I mean, it was very clear, because I read the minutes, and then I watched the meeting, because I wanted to understand what was going on, and nobody wants to answer the question. How did 7 houses get on that thing if they didn't get a variance for it? Boggles my mind. And listen.
Was to allow 5 houses on one parcel?
Well, it used to be a nursery, I can't remember the name of the nursery. So there was
They have a
5,
right to build
I think there was 5 or 6 parcels. There was 5 or 6 parcels, because when you look at, like, if you look at Google Earth, it gives you all the addresses. And they said that because of the lot size, they could only do 5 instead of 7, and he went ahead and he built 7, because I actually mentioned this to somebody at the city, and said, well, 7 houses, the neighbors should be happy, they got 7 houses, we got 7 houses on the tax rolls, they haven't even been occupied yet. And I'm like, that's okay, but what bothers me is that this board said no to 7, and now there's 7 there, and it's like, and in my mind, he's tearing down 2 houses.
Unless they changed something with their plans on 2 of them so that they didn't need the variances on those property?
I don't know, I don't know, I can't get an answer, and I've talked to one council person, and he can't get an answer. And, like I say, I wasn't gonna bring it up here, but it's just the point that we're making decisions here, we're following the ordinances, we're following the laws, and then this kind of stuff happens. And quite frankly, I've lived here all my life. I don't know where you live, but.
Lived here all my life.
Okay, good, great answer. And I watch what goes on, and these people, I mean, I am not on council, I still get calls like I'm on council, because I listen to the people. And they're furious with what's going on in this town. And if you live here, you probably are too. So that's it, I'm all set, I yield.
But I would think if we know that there's only 5 houses are allowed and there's 7, I would think we'd turn it over to the zoning inspectors to say, hey, how did this happen there?
I'd certainly like to know.
My money says it was overturned at circuit.
I don't see anything on BSNA that there was a court or anything like that. So I don't see where there was a ticket written, because they'd have to have a ticket for non-compliance, and that would be in there.
I'm not sure.
Appealed our decision. And won.
I don't know.
But we don't ever hear about that.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Overall, though, I do want to point out, I think we have great building and zoning staff.
Oh, yeah.
They're-
Oh, yeah,
they're-
yeah.
Brian, Steve,
sure.
Everett,
Absolutely.
they
Yeah.
work their butts off. The issue is just,
Getting them help?
give them help.
Yep.
Give them resources.
And they're looking.
Yep. I think they understand our frustration. Motion to adjourn.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. Jersey, support by Mr. Assessor to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Meeting adjourned at 8:38.